This is the business report, formal business report regarding communicating data and information in the workplace. My name is Sarah Arquijo, and this is regarding the ENG 315 course at Ashford University called Business and Professional Writing. This is for Professor Barbara Green's class, and today is October 3rd, 2019. I am currently a communications major at Ashford University, and given this assignment, this was a formal business report. Communicating data and information was one of the topics, and I thought this was a perfect subject to expand on, especially in the work environment. Some of the major issues in the work environment, also in my work environment, revolve around communication. So in discovering this final report, I thought communicating data and information would be a perfect subject to expand upon and develop some of my own ideas and ideals about this particular topic. In the work environment, some problems can occur regarding communication. Communicating data and information are essential to the work environment and vital in order for the office to function. Some of the problems that can occur in the office environment are that messages are unclear. Sometimes due to lack of communication skills or lack of verbal or written communication skills, messages can be unclear. They can circulate back and forth between sender and receiver to sender, trying to uncover the underlying message or the underlying problem that they're trying to convey. That is why I feel unclear messages are one of the major problems in the work environment. Another problem that can occur in the work environment are communication skills are not developed and need to be improved upon. It's very often that employees do not understand the value of communication and how important it is to the office environment. Communicating messages are essential to the daily functioning of employees, managers, and directors. If a message is not properly communicated, it will not come across as informative, genuine, or essential. Another problem that can occur within the office environment is communication needs to be further explained. The reason behind that is that most people think that everyone thinks exactly like them. This is not true. Most people think very different from you. There are many different personality types and many different ways that people understand and interpret messages. In order for your messages to become clear, you need to understand that not everyone thinks the way you do. So it is vital that you interpret the same message different ways, whether that be through email, text, IM, memo, paper, or electronic format. Messages need to be interpreted and transmitted in several different ways and also in several different formats, whether it be formal, informal, or conversational. This is an essential way to have these messages interpreted and transmitted throughout the workplace. Another problem that can occur in the workplace are presenters do not understand their audience. Unfortunately, some messages will not be transmitted because you do not understand your audience. The audience may be your coworkers. The audience can also be managers, and the audience can also be upper management, to include directors and assistant vice presidents as well as vice presidents. Depending on your work environment, you may be communicating the same messages to different people at different times. You need to understand your audience. Sometimes when you are communicating messages conversationally, they may be informal via IM. A little bit more formal messages may be transmitted via email or written letter. You need to understand these messages in order to properly transmit your messages across the work environment. In order to be successful in the professional work environment and communicate data and information successfully, you need to understand how to establish clear messages across the enterprise through all lines of business. You also need to establish different explanations which are necessary in the professional work environment, and you need to know your audience. These are three factors that I believe are essential to the professional work environment and can make any employee successful in communicating data and information. Clear messages. As you can see from the picture, this is not a very clear message. I interpreted humor into my presentation because I feel that humor is universal. Everything can be found funny by one or more people. This is an image captured from a very well-known TV show. A lot of people know it and a lot of people understand it, and it is essential to my type of sense of humor. As you can see from the image, the message is not coming across. The message is not being interpreted. This is a clear indication of how important clear messages are. Clear messages are essential to the professional work environment. You need to understand what you're trying to say and how you need to say it. You need to understand what type of importance you're going to put into that message and how you're going to transmit those messages. You need to understand that not everyone is the same as you, and the messages may be interpreted differently. Clear messages are important in the work environment in order for employees and their managers or superiors and their subordinates need to function. Another way to communicate data and information successfully is to establish different explanations and understand that they are necessary. Not everyone will interpret the same message as you, because everyone's learning style is different. You need to be able to transmit the same message in different formats, whether they be in pictures or graphs or emails or IMs or conversationally. You need to be able to transmit the message to any employee of that company, whether it be a coworker where you can speak a little bit more informally, use slang, maybe incomplete sentences, or to a member of upper management, whether it be a manager or a director. You need to be able to transmit those messages to that other person. A successful communicator can not only IM, email, and converse, but also write down exactly what they're trying to say formally to a letter, whether it be a letter or a memorandum. These are key elements of a successful communicator in the workplace environment. One of the last aspects of my presentation, and I think is one of the most important aspects of communication, is knowing your audience. These images that I've posted up on my presentation may be funny images, but not everyone may think they're funny. So I have to understand my audience and I have to know who I'm speaking to. I have to know that not everyone will understand these images and I may have to explain them, but I understand that as a communicator, as a skilled communicator, I must understand that. And for more people to become successful at communicating, they also have to understand that too. Know who you're speaking to, know who's going to be accepting this presentation, know who's going to be present during this presentation, and understand what messages you're trying to get across. Be able to answer questions and make eye contact, know your audience, and be able to transmit these messages successfully by using all these tools and helpful tips in your presentation. This concludes my physical presentation of communicating data and information in the workplace environment. This is the last slide of my presentation. That includes the resources that I use, both images and text, to create this presentation. I hope this has been an informative session, and I hope that you take the information I give you and apply it to your own communication skills. Thank you for your time, and have a good day.